Welcome back to the Trials Fusion Track Central Spotlight. I am your host, Attack Slug, and as always, if you have a track you want to see on this show that is in the PS4 version of Trials Fusion, leave it down in the comments below. And our first request comes from Raptor905, who wants to see End of the World by LukasInk. There are a couple of versions here. I want to say easy, hard, expert, and ninja. So we're gonna, I guess, start out with the easy one and see how that goes, and then we'll go to the extreme. I guess, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It has it here as a hard track, so I don't know how easy it's gonna be, and if the E even stands for easy. It might not, but everything is dead, and that is not particularly heartwarming in any measure, but we're going to attempt this on our usual Sunday Trials Fusion Track Central, you know, shenanigans. But already there was an explosion there that I had to get over. And we are in the What a Wasteland, as it were. And we are here with yet another week of doing what we can to take requests in this game. I wonder if I can... Like, I would assume they want you to go up here. There's no... I don't think you have to. I think that's just the easier way to get across that is by going up, so... Oh, lightning strike. Awesome. It's Bray Wyatt. I mean, it's Undertaker. I mean, it's lightning. I don't know. Yeah, it seems... I can see if the track has a similar design on the higher difficulties, I can certainly see how they would make things harder, and certainly I can verify that once I go and look at those. But here... Okay. Just had to get the angle just right. And funny enough, that lightning looks better than the lightning that Bray Wyatt was doing on Raw the other week, which looked fucking terrible. CGI garbage. It was so dumb. Back in the day when they had Taker and Kane doing lightning, they would have like a what is called a fly wire, and they would shoot pyro down a wire from like up in the arena down to like the ring, and it would just shoot down a wire, and it looked awesome. Like, you know, still corny in, you know, the way that wrestling can sometimes be, but looked better than their fake ass freaking CGI that they used on that episode of Raw. Anyway, there are some bones out. That's the end of the track. There are some bones out here. Bones. Damn bones. And I am struggling perhaps a bit too much with this. There we go, like that. So that was the quote-unquote easy version of this course. So let us check out what he means when he says extreme. Let us take it to the ECW arena and see what that actually means. Because I'm curious what, like how you increase... I have a few ideas, you know, in terms of, like, that course on easy had multiple paths. What if you eliminated multiple paths and only gave you one option, and the option was the harder option? That's my thought on the matter, so... We will see if that bears... Is that higher? That's higher. That's higher than it was. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know that I can... I don't know that I can make that happen. I don't know that I have the necessary requisite skills to, like, get my back tire on there just enough to propel me all the way up, and then front tire balance, go from front tire to back tire, and then bunny hop across that nightmare factory. I don't think I can do this. This is why I chose the easy one first, because just going into this and being stuck on this is... Whoa! Teleport! Play that. Alright, thumbs up on that. That's hilarious. I appreciate that that's in there. It's like, hey, fuck you, play the track. That's pretty good. Well, unfortunately, in terms of this particular track, I do not have the required skill set to make this happen, so it's just not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. But just for my own morbid curiosity, which I tend to have on this stuff, what if we look at the leaderboards And look at my friend here, Zarzrak, who actually finished this with 0 faults. And just, I want to see what that first obstacle is supposed to look like. I think I know. I think I know, but I don't actually know. So, let us take a look here at Mr. Zarzrak. Yep, just enough balance, and then, yep, that's what I said. That's what I said. I can't do it, but that's what I said. And yeah, this is a more difficult version of this track that is giving you less options in terms of how you handle the obstacles, and alright, you get the idea. So, that being said, what does that first obstacle look like with the old NJ, which stands for Ninja, and not New Jersey, which is where I currently reside. Currently residing in New Jersey, the Garden State. It's getting cold here on the East Coast. Is that like higher? Is that somehow even higher? I think it's even higher. I wonder if the same trick's in here. Yup. Penguin. Not doing that. Alright. You get the idea. Let's move on. The next suggestion comes from Space Chimp and Naughty Rascal 67, who want to see a Star Wars track. So there are a couple of pages here of Star Wars tracks, but the one that caught my eye was Return to Hoth. So we're going to hop in here at Return to Hoth and see how that plays. Yeah, I'm going to assume a lot of snow if I had to make an assumption about Hoth. But are they going to have, you know, like the AT-ATs walking around? Are they going to have, you know, the things you expect to see on Hoth? Or, well, yeah, alright, there is a droid firing at us. Yep. There's shit exploding. Yep. A lot of snow. Yep. I wonder if at the end of the track we have, like, the Millennium Falcon flying away, because that'd be cool. Oh, God. What even happened there? I don't even know. So we should definitely take heed here and slow down a little bit to crash again. Awesome. Awesome, crashing again. That's fine. I get lit on fire. So let's not... Let's try to get over this obstacle like so. Not the most elegant of solutions, but it worked. And there are some TIE fighters, or what appear to be some semi-TIE fighters. And is that... Yep, I just saw R2-D2 and C-3PO there. That was pretty cool. And there's Vader in his burned-out TIE fighter, and there's Darth Maul. Darth Maul wasn't on Hoth? What the hell? There was no Darth Maul on Hoth. That's not canon. Thumbs up anyway. But if I ever had time, which I don't ever have time, but if I was designing a track that had Hoth, it would end with the Millennium Falcon taking off at the end of that shit. That'd be cool. Alright, so a bunch of ones that just say Star Wars Racer. So we're just going to pick one of these. Star Wars Racer. It's the easy track, but that's okay. We will see what this does, see what this is. And see how it is appropriately Star Wars, which is out in theaters in under a month now. It is out December the 18th. So under 1 month until some new Star Wars. And dear God, I hope it is better than the prequels. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Oh, we get some... speaking of the prequels, here we are in a goddamn pod racer on Tatooine. So, I feel it is only appropriate if you say, Yippee! Anyway. Oh, that's... Okay, yes, that happened. Like first-person pod racing. Okay, that is like the movie. Yes, that is what happened in the movie. I went and saw Phantom Menace in theaters when it opened on opening day. I cut school to go see this. That was like my senior year of high school, and I cut school to go see Phantom Menace, which in retrospect perhaps not the best thing to do in the world, because you know that movie wasn't that good at all. Fucking Jar Jar. Anyway, yeah, that was the amount of hype at the time was so high, so very, very high. And even coming out of it, being like, okay, there were parts that were good, and then you go and watch it again, and then you go and watch it again, And then you're like, wait a minute, no, Trade Federation? Ugh. No, not... As much as I, you know, can respect George Lucas for what he did with the original trilogy, he also saw it fit to only direct the first one and then hand off the other ones for other directors, which is what should have happened for episode 2 and 3, and he did not. And he has a bunch of guys surrounding him who all just tell him yes. Obviously not anymore, you know, because he sold the whole thing to Disney, but anyway. Next suggestion is from CM Punk Ambrose fan who wants to see Rainbow Road, that perennial Mario Kart favorite. Rainbow Road, we got a couple of them here from different folks here. I'm just going to go into the hard one because Rainbow Road thematically should be hard because those courses are hard. There's no edges on them. You just fall off real easy. So we will see how, or, you know, if this is somewhat accurate to the Mario Kart. Wait, where's the... This is not Rainbow Road. This is not what I... No. This is not what you want when you hear the words Rainbow Road. And this has got that shit that makes you die when you touch into it, which I always fucking hated. Always hated. Because I don't know that I can actually get over it. I might have to look at the other two tracks to see if they actually give a shit about the thematic Mario Kart. Yeah, fuck this track. Fuck this track! Sorry. Sorry, dude. Not what I expected when I said Rainbow Road. So, let us look at the other Rainbow Road. And then perhaps we'll look at 3, too, just because I'm looking for Rainbow Road. Pit Piper, whatever. Slow or fast. So we'll see what this brings us. Perhaps it will be thematically consistent with... There we go, that's better. Not... Wait, I have no person. Inspired by Molly. Were you on drugs? Pop the Molly and you're sweating? Woo! Not having a rider is really disorienting. Just having the... Not being able to see your rider. He's there, because obviously I just crashed. But not being able to see your rider is... It's very disorienting on a number of levels. Alright, that stuff is from a skill game, because I remember that stuff. And then we just keep on... Keeping on. Oh, that's going to be a... I mean, it's still not quite Mario Kart, but, you know, you take what you can get. Take what you can get. I will give a thumbs up on that one. And we will at least look at the final one here. The final Rainbow Road. And see what that looks like. Because I just wanted, you know, a tribute to Mario Kart. When you think of Rainbow Road, that's what you think of. It's motherfucking Mario Kart. Anyway. Kill You Twice 123 is the author here of Mario Kart. Or Rainbow Road 3. And we're just going to keep on choosing the Pit Piper because whatever. Go into the fire at the end. That's usually bad advice. As Frankenstein will tell you, fire bad. And this is still, no, this is not what I want from... Rainbow Road is in outer space. And the ground is made of rainbows. That's kind of the whole point. So, whatever the hell this is not what you want from Rainbow Road. Like, these folks have not played Mario Kart apparently, or they don't know how to change the color textures on their courses. What does that say? Go back here. Go back here? Oh. No, that's kind of obvious the way you had the ground situated, so yes, I can... I don't need giant floating text instructions to how to play Trials. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I hope. That's perhaps debatable that I'm not an idiot, but shit, I've played enough Trials. I know what the drills is. And then you go into the fire at the end. So, accurate. Accurate. Anyway, I don't want to rate that track. That was not what I wanted from Rainbow Road, but I think we do have one last suggestion here. Our final suggestion coming in from Junior Furman, who just typed the word lava. That's all he typed. And certainly there are a number of courses here that have the word lava in them. But I'm not going to play 5 pages, so we're just going to go to the first one that just says lava. Just plain lava. If you had a specific creator in mind in those lava courses, you know, let me know. But just typing in a simple word without, you know, any kind of actual description to it is not going to help me much at all. But that just kind of is what it is. So our last course of the day. It is lava from ptownbga, and there's a giant skull in the background, and there's what? Okay, that is a fitting end to whatever the fuck that was. I'm not gonna rate that. That was like 2 seconds of nothing. What? Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for this week's edition of Trials Fusion Track Central Spotlight. As always, if you have a track you want to see featured on this show, and it is in the PS4 version of Trials Fusion, leave it down in the comments below, and I will see what I can do next Sunday. As always, I am your host, Attack Slug, and I will see you next time right here on this channel. And I'm out.